We are a nation of immigrants. This country was not built by immigrants. This country was built by settlers who came here and built this country from nothing. There is a big difference between being a settler and being an immigrant who comes to a developed country to sign up for all sorts of benefits.
Y'all see that Habsburg chin, right?
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
So y'all already know that whatever's about to come out of that cousin-loving jawline is gonna be delusional. Are we talking about the same plague-ridden illegals whose teeth were literally rotting out of their heads and had lice doing cartwheels on their scalps? The same illegal settlers who brought to this continent rats, fleas, and 30 different diseases, claiming they built this country from nothing. The same settlers who had no clue how to manage their own shit.
If this guy's video doesn't concern you, I don't even know what else you can be concerned about, because it's 2025 and at least white people wrote history. At least they should read it, right? They should read it, because we are not gonna sit in 2025 and have a white man tell us that America belongs to white people. What about the natives that y'all found in America? How can you say you built a country that you found people in? Y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Natkunda. As if you're new here, hi, welcome. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, like, comment, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And before I go ahead and let me first show you some of people's reactions, because dear white people.
There is a big difference between being a settler and being an immigrant who comes to a developed country to sign up for all sorts of benefits. Well, what about the Ellis Island immigrants? Those immigrants were legal. Second of all, those immigrants were not getting all the welfare benefits that we give to immigrants today. The welfare state as we know it today did not exist. So the immigrants coming through Ellis Island in the early 20th century only came here if they were confident that they could support themselves, that they could contribute. Whereas today, illegal immigrants on average cost our government around $68,000 each over a lifetime. That is, they are on average taking out $68,000 more in benefits than they are paying in taxes. So I'm tired of all this mental gymnastics of trashing this country, yet at the same time advocating for more immigration here. If this country is so terrible, then why are you doing all sorts of mental gymnastics to justify endless immigration here?
Are we talking about the same plague-ridden illegals whose teeth were literally rotting out of their heads and had lice doing cartwheels on their scalps? The same illegal settlers who brought to this continent rats, fleas, and 30 different diseases, claiming they built this country from nothing. The same settlers who had no clue how to manage their own shit. Literally, they dumped piss and feces outside of their windows onto the streets that they walked on daily and called that civilization. So if you ever wonder where the saying, "you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of," comes from, that's where. And while your ancestors were marinating in their own waste, my indigenous ancestors already built man-made structures taller than anything in Europe that had already been standing strong for many, many centuries before Europeans even started learning how to build. My indigenous ancestors were mastering astronomy, irrigation, agriculture, managing sanitation systems, and practicing hygiene, including oral hygiene, centuries before Europeans figured out how not to die from your own filth. And after we showed y'all how to clean yourselves, you thanked us. With genocide, rape, enslavement, and land theft, and after your brutality and imported diseases killed off 90% of the indigenous population, you brought in my other ancestors, Africans you kidnapped, to replace the labor force you decimated. And that wealth eventually made the U.S. an economic superpower. The generational wealth that y'all still sit on today wasn't earned. It was inherited from the rapists, colonizers, and slave traders who were your ancestors. Y'all refused to dismantle these oppressive systems that we are still living under today because white prosperity wasn't built on brilliance or merit. It was built and is still upheld by black and brown suffering. And now you have to constantly lie about your history, burning books, pretending your legacy is anything more than barbaric, parasitic violence. Your incestuous, plague-ridden, rat-delivering ancestors didn't build anything. They invaded, they infected, they murdered, and they looted, just like many of you still do now. You don't come from greatness. You come from filth, rot, and blood. And you're just mad that we won't let you forget it.
The reason I keep hammering that European settlers built America is only because it's a completely verifiable fact that everyone knows, yet the only reason it's still brought up hundreds of years later as a talking point is they want to discredit the idea that Europeans built this place so that their descendants don't feel like they have a claim to the land. The reason they do that is they want borderless nations, so they want like a global one world government, right? So to get that, you would actually have to make it so the US had completely open borders, because once their borders were open, well, everyone else's borders are now open too, and no one has a sovereign nation because the people that created the idea of everyone having sovereign nations are the country getting destroyed from the inside. They would actually much prefer you get suckered into giving your land back, but of course it wouldn't go back to the Native Americans, it would go to the government. Except this wouldn't just be the US government, this would be the global government. So think like the UN, the WEF, all these unelected people that make all these decisions. But yeah, anyway, I don't bring it up because I don't think Native Americans have a claim to the land. Like when I say I'm native to here, I mean I was born here. I would say Native Americans are indigenous, and I'm not. I also believe this land belongs to the descendants of African Americans who have also lived here for hundreds of years. So my bringing this up has really nothing to do with me thinking this land only belongs to white people, and everything to do with the fact that I would prefer we have sovereignty, and I would prefer all the other countries have that as well, because sovereignty just means countries can do things differently. So if some countries want these laws and other countries don't, we don't all have to do the same thing. So that's the importance of that, and I think every country deserves it, so that's why I continue to tell you the truth, which is this place was completely, or almost completely, 90% settled by European Americans.
We are a nation of immigrants. This country was not built by immigrants. This country was built by settlers who came here and built this country from nothing.
Are you under the impression that when the left talks about immigrants, do you think we're talking about like Christopher Columbus and his gang? Because you said that settlers came here and built this country from nothing. Let's get one thing very, very clear. Christopher Columbus and his little band of misfits were not settlers. No. They were colonizers. That's who they were. They were colonizers. And don't think I'm getting cutesy with the language. Just going by what the dictionary says. Colonizer, a nation or government that claims a territory other than its own, forcibly taking control over the population and resources located in that territory and usually sending some of its own people to settle there. See? Even the definition makes a distinction between colonizer and settler. So, if you were talking about the very infancy of the country that we call today the United States of America, no, it was not built by immigrants. You're correct. It was built by colonizers, forcibly taking things that didn't belong to them. If you're talking about the society that we know today, you're absolutely wrong. Immigrants 100% built the society that we know today. And if you think I'm wrong, go read a book.
Okay, the logic is very simple. At least if we can agree that America was built by settlers, we should be able to understand that those settlers actually did not belong in America, right? So we might just as well consider them as immigrants because they left their country and came and colonized America. Like, right? Like, no, I am so sorry, my fellow white people, but like, if we are going to wake up and say immigrants did not build America, then we might just as well accept the settlers did not build America because settlers, they were immigrants as well. They came from a country that they belonged to and came to America. So we are not going to wake up one day and be saying, white people built America because, you know, like, they discovered it and, you know, they were the first ones to come in America before these stupid immigrants came to look for jobs. Oh, yeah, even the white people, they were Europeans. So clearly, if immigrants did not build America, baby, white people did not build it. I am sorry to say it, but yeah. First of all, white Americans, they came from Europe. They found American people already in America. So as if we want to take it from his understanding that the people that were found in America didn't do nothing for America. So it means the people that came from Europe are the ones that built America. We might just as well agree. Y'all did not belong in America. No, see, the thing is, one delusionist we're not gonna wake up and have is that white people built America. European Americans built America, Yeah, because they were the founders. Y'all colonized. Y'all found the natives there. You brought your guns, kicked them off their land, and did everything. I am so begging you, MAGA. Let us not be delusional to think America belongs to European Americans. Like, even if I know so many white Americans do not really want to sit with the idea that they are European Americans, baby, you are white from Europe.